on to our next story, Fridah Kajala. Now, you know, before there were rumors, when she was dating Harmonize, there was rumors that Harmonize was hitting on both the mother, or rather sleeping with both the mother and the daughter. And she came out and refuted those claims and said, "Hey, no way, that is so disrespectful. How dare you say such a thing? How dare you even imply such a thing?" But then there were stories of Harmonize actually sent your daughter nudes. What do you have to say about that? And she refuted, akakata, abadan katan. It has never, ever, ever happened. Now, they broke up in 2022 after an on and off type of relationship, after even getting engaged and having tattoos of each other on their bodies. And then, you know, after the breakup, they turned them into lions and flowers. Tattoos are something. Now, in an interview yesterday, she's now talking about the fact that I was with somebody, I went back to somebody, and she says, I went back to a man who dared showed his nakedness to my daughter. Because even when I remember that day, we were inside with my daughter, we were sleeping, my daughter and I, we could not sleep. Paula could not sleep either. I had to hold her through the night as she lay on my lap because she did not understand what was happening. When I remember that day, I realized I valued love more than my child. And this is something I can never forgive myself for. So the gist is, while she was dating Harmonize, while they were together, living together, he decided to start making advances on her daughter and even went as far as sending her daughter nude pictures of himself. And when confronted with it, it was just deny, 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 deny. And then went on to, I don't know how they forgave each other after that, but she says her relationship with her daughter is still a bit strained to date. She says Paula does feel very betrayed by the fact that they got back together. And even today, she'll randomly just say, this thing really hurts me, especially when people now come out and say, you know, they were both dating this man. They were both sleeping with this man. Now Paula is like, first of all, I am the victim. I am a victim of sexual assault. And then you turn around and say that I actually had a consensual relationship with this man. It can be jarring. So glad she finally cleared the air. Shocked that she actually went back to this man after he did what he did, and not surprised that the relationship did not last long, because what was that? Men have the audacity. The audacity is, it's like the main ingredient. It's like the mitochondria in their bodies.
I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say assault. I'd say harassment. It was a form of sexual harassment, because I don't think there's actually any proof of physical assault. But like at the same time, imagine that. You know, it's like if you can picture it in this way, so you understand where the disgust is coming from. Imagine your dad sending you like lewd pictures of themselves. Imagine seeing that. Like, imagine your father sending you lewd pictures of themselves. Like, do you understand why it's disgusting? Because in this particular case, he was technically her stepdad. If you're dating my mom, I'm taking you as my dad. So imagine now that trauma of having to see that in front of... It's very disgusting to think about. And honestly, Harmonize has always been a sketchy guy. Sketchy bongo, I swear. But like at the same time, it's pretty sad to see that this is what ended up happening. Like she chose the man's side over the kid's side. And it's very disturbing, and I see how it is a betrayal on her part, and that's why she's probably, you know, tried to sever ties as much as possible, because fine, that time it was harmonized. That time it was harmonized, and he did this, and you know, shut it down, and you covered it up, and you did all those things. And then you ended up going back together with him at my expense. When I was telling you I had been traumatized, you still went back together with him and still did the whole, you know, cover up, you know, it never happened, blah, 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 blah. You were okay with people saying that we are in an incestuous relationship because that's the only way you can describe that relationship, true or false, right? And you still let that slide. So what happens with the next guy? What happens if the next guy does something similar, or probably even worse? Are you going to be able to then again throw me under the bus at you know, put me at the expense as opposed to actually standing up for me? Like, it's one of those conversations where you lose a lot of trust in a human being who's supposed to be taking care of you and protecting your interests, just so you can cover up something really messy. life is messy. Life is really, really, really weirdly messy, and we can already see it with what's happening around us. Life is very messy, but it is the covering up of the mess that leads to a lot of guilt, a lot of blackmailing, a lot of confusion, a lot of evil. People are very quick to cover themselves up at the expense of others and try and keep hiding it under the heaviest of blankets. So if you have done something wrong, it's okay to admit it. It's absolutely okay to admit it. And in this particular case, she is admitting that she did something wrong, and she is asking for her daughter's forgiveness. So I kind of commend her, but I hope that she learned her lesson, because she said she learned her lesson the first time, but then still went back and dated this guy for the second time. I mean, it's a little bit of a confusing situation there, but yeah, we hope that the reparation of their relationship as mother and daughter comes to a point, and that they're able to trust each other again and fight against the enemy, in this particular case, who was harmonized.